The original dream team that designed this campus comprised of Leland Stanford, the main orchestrator, but he, of course, was supported by his wife. And then Frederick Law Olmsted, who was the most famous landscape architect of the 19th century. Francis Walker, president of MIT, was the lead of the dream team. Olmsted proposed many designs which Leland rejected. Olmsted originally envisioned the campus to be located up in the foothills. Leland actually insisted that it be built on a flat plain so that it could be expanded. Behind me you see the outer quadrangle. The outer ring is taller and it is got a continuous arcade that is engaged with the building. All the buildings are modulars. They're connected by this one continuous arcade. There used to be a huge memorial arch that had a frieze on top. You would have been able to actually climb into the memorial arch. It was hollow. And from one of the pylons, you could have gone right into the arch and it would have given you a beautiful view of the Palm Drive axes. The 1906 earthquake shook the whole ground. The outer quadrangle completely collapsed, including the memorial arch, and the steeple of the memorial church crumbled down as well. Post-earthquake, the new architects that were hired started looking at materials in a very different way. By then, concrete and reinforced steel had already come into play. Behind me, what you see is the corner of the main quadrangle. If you notice, it's not a right angle. It is actually a curved quarter round. The arches are placed on twin pair of columns. Now this is the phase one, and if you look in front of me, there is the other arch that came in phase two. The similarity is that there are a series of arches that fall one over the other, and the difference is that it's not at the corner, it's actually got a gable end, which means that it's got a triangular piece at the top, and the arch is embedded in that triangular piece. This is the arcade. It creates a continuous way for students to circulate, socialize, and at certain times of the day, the light quality is just brilliant over here. It creates this endless space to feel the intellectual energy of all these classrooms. We are standing in the portal. There are these brilliant spaces that form the inner ring between the outer and the inner quadrangle. Behind me is Stanford's Memorial Church. There used to be a huge steeple, about 80 foot tall. After the 1906 earthquake, it was decided not to rebuild the steeple. Its front facade is decorated with these beautiful mosaics, and then the intricate carving that you see. The church is actually modeled after Trinity Church in Boston. If you see the two buildings side by side, you can see a lot of similarities. The arch can be used as a way to understand how the design evolves. There is the half-round arch, extruded arch, there is the triple arch at the portals. Behind me is the west portal. Post-war, the enrollment dramatically increased on campus, and in order to meet the demand, a lot of single-story buildings were placed in more of a haphazard manner. A physics tank, which was a lecture hall, blocked the west portal as well. In the 90s, it was decided to go back to the original principles of design, and now we have the new Science and Engineering quadrangle that continues the open space, and we actually have a full quadrangle similar to the main quadrangle over to the west side. The cladding material is actually French limestone as opposed to the sandstone at the main quadrangle. The Science and Engineering quadrangle celebrates the asymmetry. Unlike the main quad's half-round arch, over here we have a flatter arch, and at the top it has a concrete detailing that separates the shape of the arch compared to the limestone detailing. Here's a caulk joint which shows the corner, and then the limestone and concrete base make it feel like it's one monolithic piece, but in reality there is a steel column in the middle. We hope that when we think of these new buildings, we're building on the past, and hopefully what we have constructed influences the future.